This is SportsRage. I am Morency. All right, I'm scrolling right now. I'm looking for some of these women's hockey lines. They'll be up tomorrow for me. I got everything else here, but I don't see. And I'm looking at a couple of different places. You already got it in. Where'd you get your line from, Julio, for this?
Yeah, Julio.
Well, I haven't gotten to tomorrow's game yet. I'm waiting for that in the morning, but it should be at Jesse Pinkman's Sportsbook, Gabe, if you're looking for a direct book.
Oh, okay, I thought you just need to post it.
be.
Yeah, no, these are the type of leagues though that they post a couple in the morning of the games, as you stated.
Yes.
So no, that's your expertise, and you've done well with it. I like where you're going with this, actually. So like with the unders with the soccer league, and now this hockey league. So all four games. Like I said, I was on the road. It was over the weekend that they played their debuts here. So all four games went under 5.5. You say, huh?
Yep. The magic number is 5. 3 games. What's my number? Three games have gone to 5, 1 to 4. So I would have set these numbers at 4.5 to start. But even at 5, the last 3 games we've had 5 goals early in the third period. They'll pull their goalie with about 3 minutes left, but it's super defensive. The women are keeping the puck in the offensive zone. They're just trapping it. There's no real intention to get to the other side of the goal to get that 6th goal across. So knock on wood, we have a nice run with this.
I see Montreal and Minnesota tomorrow. And then Ottawa at Boston. And Cam, I assume Boston will be big favorites against Ottawa, even in the women's hockey.
Yeah, we'll do like men to women, Boston beating Ottawa. It's just
is Ottawa going to be the worst team in the league? Let's see here. So
apparently. All
right. So look, I'm on their website right now, and like your word of advice, right away. Sorry, ladies, but shout out to everyone joining us on Sirius here right now. So, Sirius XM 159 SportsGrid Radio. I'm on the VPWHL.com. It's a nice enough whatever. The actual graphics and stuff are fine enough. But on their standings, it says PWHL New York, PWHL Minnesota. I know it's PWHL. I'm on your damn website. So that's like NHL standings saying NHL Rangers, like Denver, Colorado, whatever, or NHL. Like, I know what league it is. But what's frustrating about this, and Julio, you're talking about the amount of goals scored, so I wanted to look. They don't have goals for and goals against on the damn website.
We got to clean up. You got to clean that up. If we're betting on it, you got to be better.
They have games played, 1 loss, overtime loss, shootout loss, points, win percentage, and last 10 games. Like, come on. Like, you have to have, like, goals for and goals against so people can actually know about your teams. And it's these damn leagues with their effing websites, man. Like, I don't know how hard it is. Out of all these universities and stuff, out of like literally millions of kids that are graduating from universities in graphic design and computer this and website that and everything else this and communications, you can't find one person that will sit in the room and say, you know what, guys, website looks great, but we need the goal differential. Like how nobody, it baffles me, like with these sites, and it's detrimental to their leagues because if you bet on this stuff, I find this, trust me, I know because I bet on the USFLs, the XFLs, and all this stuff, the CFLs. You get frustrated if you can't find stats that you want, and other people. I'm a diehard fan of these sports, but other people that aren't will just give up. You know what I'm saying? I see it all the time. Like, I can't find the game. I can't find stats. I can't find injury reports. If you can't find information, you can't be, you're not going to want to bet on it. If you're not betting on it, people aren't going to watch it as much. And then if people aren't watching it as much, your league will not be as successful. So, like, these leagues needed to really figure this out. And you know what? I'm gonna send them a constructive tweet after here. I'm just going to say, hey,
you're
being
proactive.
You suck.
Yeah.
I'm just going to send them a tweet and say, hey, guys, I think it'd be a good idea to add goal differential to your website.
Exactly. So I think
and if they don't respond to me or change it, then I'll rip them in like 2 weeks.
Yes. I love your style.
I'll give them 2 weeks.
Come in with the soft approach, like a bear. You give them some pause, and then if they don't respond, it's claws. I agree. That's exactly the way to do it. Pause early, claws late. Scottish soccer, Julio, or are we off the over in the Scottish League? Anything from this league? A lot of overs.
Yeah, a lot of overs. Not playing the Scottish League this weekend, Cam. Unfortunately, and on the women's side, look, I've been getting my info on Flash Score, these these score websites. I'm not even official websites info from the league. So again, tread lightly. Under 5.5 is undefeated. Computer's lagging, gentlemen. NHL. Cam, is it a mistake taking the Leafs in regulation against SJ
You got
Sharp?
15 seconds, Julio. And I was going to say, big card, Julio, now you might have a problem, the fact that you know the website flashscore.com. But I guess that's better to know that website. Your girlfriend won't be as upset as knowing, like, big booties or bigbreasts.com or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Flash Score. It's like flashscore.com, but flashscore.com is a hardcore website with random soccer and random basketball scores. See you, Julio.
Yeah.
Later, Julio.
Take care, guys.
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabirel Morency. Is it really the Friday Night Freak Show already? It is. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Countdown to kickoff is on. And if you're listening to this show right now, you're probably a football fan. If you're a football fan, your team is probably playing in a pretty big game this weekend. Now, maybe your team sucks and they're not playing in any big game this weekend, but for the most part, the majority of games in the National Football League are important. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I don't need to explain the stakes to you, but the Pittsburgh Steelers need to win a football game to get in the playoffs, but they also need the Jags to lose. So everyone just talks about, the Baltimore Ravens don't need the game. Pittsburgh, they're not automatically in, even if they win. Houston and Indy are in if they win. A showdown. C.J. Stroud versus Minshew Mania, Saturday night. Updated number right now, the Houston Texans are 1-point favorites on the road. For the record, I like the Indianapolis Colts in this football game. Baltimore Ravens are getting 3 points in this game. Don't love this game down to 3 right now, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out because I'm a Buffalo Bill fan. And the Buffalo Bills will get into playoffs automatically if the Pittsburgh Steelers lose this game. So I'm going to be pulling for the Baltimore Ravens. And, of course, I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. And Harbaugh is the head coach at Baltimore. So it's a Harbaugh weekend. Harbaugh on Saturday, Harbaugh on Monday. So speaking of Monday, Tony Finn is going to be our last guest of the week to step up and in with his national championship pick. For the most part, most of our guests throughout the week have liked the Washington Huskies. It seems like the majority of the betting public like the Washington Huskies, but it's a very similar situation to last week, isn't it? When everyone in the media loved Alabama, everybody was talking about Alabama this, Alabama that. FanDuel, 84% of the bets were on Alabama, yet Michigan ended up closing as a bigger favorite before kickoff. So for all the talk of who you like and who the media likes, the sports books don't care because evidently you're not betting enough for them to give a crap about your opinion. All right? Cold, but true. The fact of the matter is the number's gone up to 56.5 right now. The total, Michigan are sitting at 4.5. We'll get you updated with our poll question. And Tony Finn will join us from Area 51.
My best bet is Michael Penix Jr. over 309.5. Let's shop around. Let's get active and let's get the best of the numbers here. So
I believe if Michigan in this ball game can run the football, work off of play action, they can move the football, put up points. Does fall on McCarthy, but I like Michigan's chances in this ball game.
National championship is set. Washington against Michigan.
Brothers in arms tonight. This is it.
this is the most excited I think I've ever been for a day of work in my entire life.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
favorite. I don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
North Carolina, we've got new sports books operating for licenses. And, you know, a lot of news always coming out of there. One of the fresh sports betting states.
Well, they're a little behind the ball there, so I don't know if they'll be at the starting line in North Carolina. But yeah, a really interesting mix of applicants this early on so far.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
They were saying there's no way he could not possibly do this. He won't hold out.
Pro League Soccer powered by Marca.
Scoring teams in the league. They have 80 goals so far.
College football today.
The Hawks team total in the first half is 0.5.
Pro football today.
Interesting props in this game, but I would be cautious laying this number here with the Houston Texans.
In-game live all access.
The NFC in terms of these wild cards and in terms of the playoff picture.
In-game live, prime time.
Rich, I don't know, man. This has just been one of those games that doesn't make a lick of sense.
In-game live, overtime.
You want to give you over 3-1 on a pretty good team. It's hard not to take some flyers.
Football full circle.
Well, NFL officials stink. They always will stink, and they'll always ruin the game. Yeah, that's just part of what it is.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're kicking it. Countdown to kickoff is on. What a massive weekend of football that we have coming up, man. NFL football, NCAA football, 2 national championship games. Don't forget, we have Michigan-Washington, obviously, on Monday night, but South Dakota State and Montana play on Sunday afternoon. It's a stupid and strange time to play head-to-head against the National Football League. But it is what it is, and the South Dakota State Jackrabbits are just sort of like, they're a juggernaut, this team. We were talking with Steve Merrill earlier in the program tonight, and he brought up the fact that South Dakota State are they'd be in between 25 and 30 as far as NCAA teams are concerned. He said the Sagarin Ratings basically had them ranked 25th in the country, South Dakota State. And for people that are rolling their eyes right now, it sounds, maybe it's a little high, but just for the record, remember when North Dakota State with Carson Wentz and Trey Lance and everything, when these guys were dominant, they were ranked 35th to 40th in the country. So even though they're FCS, they're actually really, really good teams that could beat, Mountain West teams and stuff. They could join these conferences, but they prefer to be the big man on campus, and they prefer to rack up, these 15-0 seasons and stuff. And why wouldn't they? They're making money and things are good for them. So speaking of making money, let's check in right now with the action that's going on the hardwood. Cam, both you and I took the Detroit Pistons tonight, plus the points. I brought it up earlier. Yeah, they lose all the time, but they lose closely. They play in a lot of close battles. And here we are right now. They're tied at 100. The game's lower scoring than I would like, but it's tied at 100 right now with 2 minutes left in the game. We're getting 10.5 points with the Detroit Pistons. The Memphis Grizzlies, the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, 3-9 in their last 12 games. The wheels are falling off. There's internal turmoil as far as the rotation is concerned right now. Looks like people are starting to throw the coach under the bus. That seems to happen every 18 months or so in Los Angeles with the Lakers. They're going to run out of people to hire, all right?
Exactly.
Seriously, they're going to run out of coaches to blame every couple of months with this team. But nevertheless, we're on the Memphis Grizzlies plus the points. It's 106-103 Grizz right now with 6.5 minutes left in the game. And Sacramento and Toronto, really fun game. We banged the over, 238.5 of this game. In-game total right now, guys, 271.5. The Sacramento Kings were up big early, sort of, it was close. Then they went on this big run. But anybody that watches Sacramento games knows these guys are flaky, Cam. They blow leads all the time, bro. Like, I watch every King game in the late night hours here.
Yep.
They're always doing this. They always have a lead. They're a good team to bet against in-game, actually, and take the team that they're beating plus 1 million points. We'll see if the Raptors, they've cut the lead to 5 right now. We'll see if they can keep this momentum going.
That would be fantastic, Gabe, because, the spread 4.5, 5 if we're on Toronto. I sprinkled on the money line as well, so it is tightening up. Detroit is leading Golden State now, Gabe, and we got them live at plus 12.5 as well, up 103, 102. And in hockey, Winnipeg Jets, remember, Gabe, maybe we get that exact score, too. I say Jets beat the Ducks 3-1. It's 2-1 with 9 minutes left. An empty netter would really put a nice cap on things, buddy. Let's do this. Let's have a great Friday.
Yeah, it could be a strong end to the evening here. 126, 121 with 4:15 left in the basketball game right now. Sacramento and Toronto. As I stated, the in-game total, 271.5. I'm sort of tempted just because I'm a maniac. But no.
You're fine, Gabe. You're fine. It's like, you know what I mean? You just had a nice meal. I'm fine. Just have a drink, relax.
Speaking of being a maniac, remember I forgot about the bet. I bet on Harvard and Arizona State under 7.5 NCAA hockey.
How's that going?
I won.
Nice. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something, Gabe. That Sun Devil program, since you talked about it, like, we talked about UNLV when Vegas came in. They're actually like a team that can play hockey now. And I remember, you remember this back in the day, Morency. You're like, oh, what about the South? Remember, like Arkansas, Little Rock, like a couple of these places that you don't think have like hockey teams, have hockey teams. But the Arizona State Sun Devils are building a program there. And you mentioned it earlier in the show. Be very careful. Like these teams, they're pretty good hockey team, man. And good call by you on the under in that hockey game. Harvard's good.
Yeah, I think... Who is it? It's like Huntington, somebody in Alabama. You're right. There is a big time.
Huntsville, Alabama. It's in Huntsville.
No, but I'm saying one of those schools. There is. It's surprising. It'd be surprising. It's not Troy.
Yeah.
But there is actually a school in Alabama, guys, that's good at hockey. Yes. I forget which one it is, but I know, like Arizona State years ago, when their hockey program started, sort of like UNLV years ago, it generally was basically Canadian dudes who life had passed them by. Like, look, I could have played when my grades weren't good enough in St. Lawrence, but and you actually be good there. That was a good hockey program, right? Sort of like Vermont and stuff like that. It was good, but I'm talking like 25 years ago, right? Like Cam, like UNLV, bro. There was one rink in Vegas. Like if you could put a pair of skates on and you were smart enough to sit in a class, at least you want to be on the hockey team. It was like a beer league JV team, right? Like, but you were a university team. And you'd get your ass handed to you by other teams or whatever. You just get effing smoked. Now, like Arizona State, like, look, Austin Matthews is from Phoenix. Like Arizona State, they act like they actually have good players. Now, let's not pretend, Cam. Although, look, they just freaking beat Harvard.
That's what I'm talking about. It's very impressive.
East Coast power. Like I was just going to say, they're not quite like the Boston universities and Boston College and Minnesota Duluth,
but they
kind of are. Like I said, they just beat Harvard tonight.
Like, what are the hockey programs? Like Colgate, the Big Red, Harvard, like from the Ivy League. But you're right, BU and Boston College play in the big game. Those guys are huge rivals. Vermont,
Michigan,
Maine,
Michigan, the best program. Michigan, Penn State, Minnesota Duluth, Minnesota Golden Gophers, Boston University, the Terriers. They're really good.
Yeah.
Boston
Minnesota
College
St. Cloud. All those teams up there. Wisconsin, the Badgers are good too. They're good.
My boy Thatcher Demko is Boston College.
Yeah, he's a Golden Eagle. That's correct.
Oh, these 128, 123 right now. What's going on with Tony Finn? Let's wait till after the break. We'll see if we can connect with Tony. It's unfortunate for the radio audience. I get it, but we're on television as well, and the guests are on video, and sometimes the video, gets a little choppy, especially with Tony's at Area 51, or I don't know. Like Tony's in like a government warehouse. Like I said, they only let him communicate with the public like once a week.
Government warehouse.
Yeah, he's in a government warehouse.
It's best.
No, like an airport hangar in Nevada.
Yeah.
Like when you fly into Nevada and you look down, you see stuff. That's where Tony is. He's
exactly.
There's like guards around him and stuff like that. That's why he joined us in the dark tonight. So I got to be real, Tommy. Tommy, and people can't hear Tommy, but in my earpiece, Tommy's in New York. And I got to tell you, Tommy, as soon as I saw Tony Finn join us in pitch black darkness, I knew there was a problem.
I agree, Gabe. I said this is not going to go well.
I was like, what's Tony like? Tony in solitary tonight? Like it's like he's in the black hole or something, and he's giving us a call. You get the shot up with Tony here so people can see. So this is what we saw with Tony.
Look at his Kansas City
like
jacket.
A disappointed man too. Put his face. Look at the look of sadness. Like he's just like, I can't believe this doesn't work. Like you could just tell he's disappointed.
He is sad.
So it's a look of frustration. I know that look. I've felt that look before.
Oh, buddy, I live with that look most of the time, Gabe, before I come on the show. But yeah, he looks pretty beat down. But we're going to make it work next segment. Let's hope Detroit can hold on here. I think Golden State went on a little run. They're up 7. End this damn game now. We don't need any hijinks here. Now they're up 8. Ooh, it's getting a little closer. 25 seconds left. Just end it, please.
Yeah, I got 11, so hopefully we can squeeze it out. We'll be all right. 128-124 for the Sacramento Kings. They haven't scored in a little while, the Kings. They've been stuck on this. The Raptors are cutting this. It's getting real right now.
It is.
128-124, 2:48 left. This is SportsRage. Best bets coming up.
My best bet is Michael Penix Jr. over 309.5.
Let's stop around. Let's get active and let's get the best of the numbers here, Joe.
I believe if Michigan in this ball game can run the football, work off of play action, they can move the football, put up points. Does fall on McCarthy, but I like Michigan's chances in this ball game.
National championship is set. Washington against Michigan.
Brothers in arms tonight. This is it.
This is the most excited I think I've ever been for a day of work in my entire life.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
favorite. I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
North Carolina, we've got new sports books operating for licenses, and a lot of news always coming out of there. One of the fresh sports betting states.
Well, they're a little behind the ball there, so I don't know if they'll be at the starting line in North Carolina. But yeah, a really interesting mix of applicants this early on so far.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
They were saying there's no way he could not possibly do this. He won't hold out.
Pro League Soccer powered by Marca.
Scoring teams in the league. They have 80 goals so far.
College football today.
The Hawks team total in the first half is 0.5.
Pro football today.
Interesting props in this game, but I would be cautious laying this number here with the Houston Texans.
In-game live all access.
In the NFC in terms of these wild cards and in terms of the playoff picture.
In-game live, prime time.
Rich, I don't know, man. This has just been one of those games that doesn't make a lick of sense.
In-game live, overtime.
You want to give you over 3-1 on a pretty good team. It's hard not to take some flyers.
Football full circle.
Well, NFL officials stink. They always will stink, and they'll always ruin the game. Yeah, that's just part of what it is.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Sirius XM Channel 159, Mario 1090, ESPN Radio. Somehow bit my tongue, man, like during one of these commercial breaks. I blame Tony Finn for this, actually. It's Tony's fault, like causing me all kinds of stress and stuff, Tony. I think we do have Tony Finn now in the darkness. What's up, Tony? How you doing?
Tony,
it's a great day.
Like a floating head, Gabe, in the dark. Look at it. It's just black and then a head. It's floating. Amazing.
It's awesome. I've been doing a bunch of resets, and I've changed my lighting too. So I'm certain I screwed that up.
Tony.
No, you look good.
Yeah.
No, you're
you look great.
You're good.
Excellent.
Except we don't have a lot of time for small talk, Tony. Just for the record, though, I know. What do you mean why? Because I'm a busy man. 130.
Why not?
Why not? 131, 128 right now, Tony, in the Sacramento-Toronto game. I know you had some in-game action on that.
Then I'm good. As I told you, everything else should be good. I mean, I got have both teams over
I've got Scotty Barnes. I got Scotty Barnes
21
over
and a half
20.
And Fox was 2+ steals. So it should be good.
Tony.
Listen. I love Tony. Honestly, I love him.
He just sort of mumbles.
He's just there, and he's not, and he's back, and he's gone, and he's mumbling, and then talking random thoughts. Finn.
All right. I'm just going to ask you a simple question, Tony. Yeah. No Hunter S. Thompson responses.
Oh, he just disappeared. He's gone again.
That was actually secretly management just pulling the plug. That's what happened. They just said, zip. I don't know if Pat McAfee's caused enough stress this week for everybody.
Yeah.
And now they're like, all right, that's it. It's the end of the week. Get this Finn guy. He's done. God bless Tony. He's trying here, but we're having a problem. And Tony, poor Tommy. Tommy's like stressed out at the end. Tommy, our producer here, Sacramento King fan. He's just trying to stress out at the end of this basketball game, and Tony Finn's logging in and out like 22 million times.
I know.
And I'm stressing out at the end of this game. So as I was saying, Cam, I got Scotty Barnes over 21.5 points scored. He's been stuck at 20, man. Like, I just need one bucket from Scotty Barnes here. One basket at the end of this game. But we're running out of racetrack. There's only like a minute left.
You are hoping for overtime, Morency. Who knows with these two teams, the way things are going is pretty tight. But Raptors got to get the next bucket. What do we got? What are they down? 5 with 9 seconds left. It's right on the number right now. Good news for us, Morency. We got the Pistons live and plus I had 12.5. You had 11.5. We had them live too. I think they're going to lose by 4. 113-109. 3 seconds left. Detroit and Golden State. So that's looking good as well. And your Memphis Grizzlies are beating the Lakers. So this could be a good night. We can hit them all.
Man, the Lakers are just there. The Lakers are just a fade. I made a mistake the other night jumping in on the Lakers in game, getting a bunch of points. I was like, all right, at least we're getting 7.5 or whatnot. They ended up getting blown out. Jimmy Butler didn't even play. Now, so they're 3-9 coming into tonight. Now we're talking about they're going to lose again. It's going to, 10 losses in 13 basketball games. Crazy what's happened since the in-season tournament victory. Clearly, it has not catapulted them. Raptors have cut the lead to 3. How the hell was that not a foul? Like, seriously, Quickly just got seriously fouled. Like, seriously fouled. And there's no call. I think be careful. Don't get teed up here right now. Like, everybody's flipping out here. But we're 3 away from potentially getting overtime here in this game. 133-130 right now with 9 seconds left. Quickly, I'm not going to lie. It was one of those, the player was looking for the foul. It was one of those desperate, I'm going to lean in, I'm going to do anything here. All right, so he scores the basket. They're showing the highlight of the basket. I want to see the stupid foul here. All right, so, and what's the Lakers score here right now? Let's get to our football picks because we're running out of time on the show.
Memphis is up 125, 111, and 140. All over, buddy. 14-point lead under 2. There we go. You called it, man. Good call.
And you know what? And the Memphis are better with Morant. They're 5-3 with them, but now, like, the Lakers are bad, bro. Like, they're just they're trying to get them fired now. At this point. And they will, because they ain't firing LeBron, they ain't firing AD.
Nope.
So,
that's right.
The roster is what it is. I'll be the first to admit, I thought the Lakers roster looked really good. I thought they did a nice job in the offseason. Evidently, this thing's just blowing up right now. So 125-111. We got a final score, 113-109 in San Francisco. The Warriors victorious, but the Pistons cover the number. All right, 9 seconds left. We'll move on after this. We'll see if the Raptors can hit a three. They probably won't, but maybe. Let's see who even takes it. Quickly's got the ball. Looks like it's going to be his shot. He takes it. Terrible shot off the front of the rim. Not even close. Dear God, too. Can you believe this, Cam? There's 0.5 seconds left in this game, too, after the ball. They just fouled with 0.5 left. I don't know how many points. Like this is like if they hit both free throws, they win by 5, depending on what your number was.
You're correct. 4.5, 5. Oh, God, because I'm on a site. It says N4, but I'm watching the game. You're right, 0.5. So it's just like we got a real problem here. And I'm keeping my eye on this hockey game, too, Gabe. 54 seconds left. Jets up 3-1 on the Ducks. This can end 3-1 to hit exact score. This could be amazing. Please don't pull the goalie again.
They added a 0.6 seconds onto the clock here. So, wow, this is there's a lot of money on the line right now for a lot of different people. The point spread is up in the air here at 4.5 with this free throw coming up at 134-130. And they hit the free throw to take a 5-point lead. I actually like what Quickly did. He actually shot the ball, even though there was like 0.6 seconds left. But unbelievable after all that, the Raptors end up losing by 5. If you laid the 4, it was 4.5. If you bought the half point, you got the push. If not, but most people added a 4.5. Some Sacramento bettors just got a gift with those late free throws right there. So 135-130 final score. I get screwed over on my player prop with Scotty Barnes. And same thing, I was on Memphis, guys, but I had Ja Morant over 25.5 points, and he didn't get there. But it is what it is. You take the wins, you take the losses, and you move on. We've got NFL football coming up next. I want to get back to the national championship game. This is going to be we're going to be on with Scotty Farrell on Sunday afternoon covering the NFL. And no doubt me and Scotty are going to go over the football game, the championship game, and I'll be a guest with Scotty on Monday afternoon. But we have a special college football broadcast live from the studios going on Monday night. So there'll be no Sports Rage. If you're tuning in, we'll be back the following night. And I'm either going to be a very, very happy Michigan Wolverine fan or a very distraught Michigan Wolverine fan. And we'll see what happens with the Buffalo Bills as well. But, Cam, what are your best bets for this weekend in the NFL? We'll get your best bets done right now.
Thanks. I usually like when Tony's around because he can laugh, and when he laughs, like good things happen, Morency. He's kind of like my good luck charm. So we'll get him on the next segment. But Tommy, if you guys got the graphics
won't.
Now,
no,
we're not going to have him.
Get him on the next segment. No.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, so like that ship has sailed.
Just get Kev's graphics. But yeah, don't worry about Tony. Go on.
No, I'm not going to worry. Gary Graphic, thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys. We're going to take the Atlanta Falcons +3 against New Orleans. The Saints are a tough team. We had them last week against the Buccaneers. They always play them tight, but now they're asking us they got to win this game by more than 3. I think Frank Falcon shows up in this game, Gabe. Very close game, and I like to take, if the dog can win outright, I will take the point. So I'm taking Atlanta. I know we disagree on this game. I'm on Chicago. I've been riding them. I'm going to ride them all the way to the end. I like Justin Fields. I like where this team is going, and I think they can beat Green Bay. I know they haven't done it in a hell of a long time, Gabe, but I'm taking the 3 with the Chicago Bears. Vikings in Detroit, what's going to happen? Is Campbell going to play his guys? Maybe for a little bit, but the fact that Nick Mullins is back, another dog, Gabe. I went to the dog pound here. I'm taking Minnesota +3.5. Giants, you talked about Barkley in the final swan song. Philadelphia is playing horrible football right now, so I will take the 5.5. I also took Tennessee, but it was 5.5, Gabe, all the way bet down to 3.5. So on the Titans, but I like your Bills. Money line against Miami. Gabe, I have a couple totals for you, too. 3 games that I took. Rams and 49ers, I like the under 41.5. I think you do, too. I don't see points in this game. Very vanilla, like a 17-14 type of game. I think it's going to be really boring, and we're going to hit the under. McVay, he won't show his cards. This team has bigger fish to fry in the playoffs. We're also going to take the Seahawks-Cardinals over 47.5. Points galore. Seattle will score. Cardinals will score. I see a heavyweight fight back and forth. over 47.5 we go. I see points galore. And another game, this one's low, but I see a very boring game between Kansas City and the Chargers as well. Very low total at 35.5. I'm taking the under. I think this game is going to be punts and boredom. Give me under 35.5, Chiefs and Chargers. Those are my picks, Morency. I think we agree on a couple. I know you like Green Bay. I like the Bears. Let's rock.
All right, thanks to Cam Stewart. There's best bets. I'll give you mine on the other side, including we got a bunch of player props for you for the national championship football game. I know that college football player props, you can't bet them in every state. It's frustrating. I don't understand. Like, I don't, you know, the one that baffles me the most is the state of Colorado. In that, and God bless the state of Colorado, and I'm all about personal freedoms, but in the state of Colorado, you can crush an 8-ball of magic mushrooms, but you can't bet on how many rushing yards Blake Corum is going to get, which I kind of find kind of strange. Like, is the sky going to fall? Is there some sort of big danger at the end of society? Like, if you legalize sports betting, what are you concerned about allowing college football player props? But there are numerous states that won't. They just don't accept them. They don't do it.
My best bet is Michael Penix Jr. over 309.5.
Let's stop for now. Let's get active and let's get the best of the numbers here, Joe.
I believe if Michigan in this ball game can run the football, work off of play action, they can move the football, put up points. Does fall on McCarthy, but I like Michigan's chances in this ball game.
National championship is set. Washington against Michigan.
Brothers in arms tonight. This is it.
This is the most excited I think I've ever been for a day of work in my entire life.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
North Carolina, we've got new sports books operating for licenses, and you know, a lot of news always coming out of there. One of the fresh sports betting states.
Where they're a little behind the ball there, so I don't know if they'll be at the starting line in North Carolina. But yeah, a really interesting mix of applicants this early on so far.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
They were saying there's no way he could not possibly do this. He won't hold out.
Pro League Soccer powered by Marca.
Scoring teams in the league. They have 80 goals so far.
College football today.
The Hawks team total in the first half is 0.5.
Pro football today.
Interesting props in this game, but I would be cautious laying this number here with the Houston Texans.
In-game live all access.
In the NFC in terms of these wild cards and in terms of the playoff picture.
In-game live, prime time.
Rich, I don't know, man. This has just been one of those games that doesn't make a lick of sense.
In-game live, overtime.
You want to give the over 3-1 on a pretty good team. It's hard not to take some flyers.
Football full circle.
Well, NFL officials stink. They always will stink, and they'll always ruin the game. You know, that's just part of what it is.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Countdown to kickoff is on for real right now. Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the first ones up on Saturday. Colts and Texans. I've got a bunch of best bets to share with you, but I'm going to do a bunch of videos as well. Over the weekend, follow me on Twitter X at SportsRage. Against my better judgment, I understand, though, the communication is clear right now with Tony Finn. Except now, Tony, now you're cutting into my time with my picks, so let's go. Let's get to your best bets, Mr. Finn. Good to see you.
That's good.
We'll bring you
Great
back
to see
because
you
I
guys.
like you. That's because I do like you. So yeah. If I
You're
didn't,
more-
I'd just say no time.
Yeah, we like him. Yep.
That's what I think to me. By the way, no, see you, Tony. It's good to see you guys. It's good to be here. And I'm going to make a quick thing, Gabe. I'm just going to give you a couple games. All right, tomorrow, or one's tomorrow, one is Sunday. I like Indianapolis in the game for several reasons. I'm basically fading Houston. We get a quarterback who's he's a rookie, and if you look at numbers, if in a big picture, guys, if you just fade rookie quarterbacks during the regular season, the starters, even in the postseason, it's a winner. If you play them, it's a loser overall. Now, have they won? Sure. Purdy won last year, his first start as a rookie quarterback. Give me Indianapolis and their veterans, the savvy veteran of Minshew. And on Sunday, I like Jacksonville with or without Lawrence. It's the same division, same conference. Jacksonville on Sunday, Indianapolis on Saturday.
Interesting. One thing with Jacksonville I find interesting every week, Trevor Lawrence never practices all week, and then they drop him on the field, and then they kind of struggle. I get it, though. He's their best option. I like your Indianapolis pick here, Tony. I think this is going to be a fun football game. I think both quarterbacks are going to have a chance to throw the football around a little bit here. And even though there's a playoff spot on the line here, I think we can get to the over 47.5, Tony, in this game. I think it's a 27-24 type of game.
I played Indianapolis money line. I played them on the spread. I played the over of the game, and I played a little alternative number on Indianapolis -10.
I will say, too, for tomorrow, for those of you that tease football games, I think it's kind of clear and obvious, but let's tease the Baltimore Ravens up to +10 and the Indianapolis Colts up to +8. All right, Tony, national championship football game. Michigan Wolverines laying 4.5 points to the Washington Huskies. Total is now 56.5. It was 55.5. It's been bet up. The line has remained 4.5 all week long. What's your opinion on the championship game?
When I did a big and long take on this today, we talked about it for a heck of a long time, right, guys? I basically said the Bulls in the China cabinet, or China shop, and that is there's no answer. I mean, this is the deal. Michigan Wolverines win, and for reasons why is simple. I'm still old school, guys. I'm still old school. It's if you ain't cheating, you're not trying. Plus for Michigan, right? And defense wins championships. So in this case, I'm just not sure. If you want to put Michigan's defense against Washington's defense, Michigan wins. Now, is Washington more dynamic offensively? Yes. However, what Michigan does is they set up their offense with their defense, and I like Michigan. I like some points in this game too. Gabe, I like the over. I like Michigan minus the number, small number, and the over.
I like your bull in the China shop reference for this game because I think that's sort of a good analogy in that. Yeah. I brought it up, Tony. Everybody focuses in on the matchup of this game. Well, can Michigan's defensive line and Washington's offensive line only gave up 11 sacks? Okay, good. How many great defensive lines are there? How many great pass rushers are there in the Pac-12? But secondly, the other side of this, you just talked about the bull in the China shop. I brought it up earlier, Tony. The Washington Huskies pass defense ranked 123rd in the country. Their rush defense is ranked 43rd in the country. They give up over 400 yards a game. Michigan takes like a month to give up 400 yards in a football game. And I get it. They play different offenses and stuff like that. But when you really want to compare them, like I said, Washington scored 37 points a game. Michigan scored 36 points a game. One of them gives up 10 points a game. The other one gives up 24 points a game. One of them has given up 30 or more points 6 times this year. That's the Washington Huskies. They've given up 30 or more points 6 times this year. Michigan have given up 30 or more points 2 times since 2021. They've been giving up more than 24 points this year. They gave up 24 points twice, once to Maryland, once to Ohio State. To me, it's just not a good matchup for Washington unless, and it's a possibility, that Michigan implodes, that they can't come off that high of the Rose Bowl, and Michael Penix just carves them up early. They fall behind like they did last year to TCU, and then they find themselves sort of coming from behind in a track meet. But I got to tell you, Tony, even last year, bro, they nearly came back on TCU. And TCU knew that Michigan knew their signs and was screwing with them, okay? That's why TCU beat them. Let's just be real, okay? So I'm saying even if it gets into a track meet, I think Michigan can put points up. That's not going to be a problem. I said it earlier. Michigan either blowed them out or it's a close, high-scoring track meet of a football game. But I agree, Tony. The game's going over the number either way.
I like it. I like that. I think you're spot on. Now, here's the deal with that, and it's Washington, almost every defense in the Pac-12 saved Utah and some spot plays and spot performances by Oregon. The offenses outscored what the defenses gave up. In this situation, if you got to get points and a bunch of them against Michigan's defense, or you're chasing Michigan, you're a loser. And I like Michigan.
I like it. You sound like Bo Schembechler. It's going to be Michigan. 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 When it's all said and done, it's going to be Michigan. The team. There's one more team speech left for them to pull this off. All right, Tony. I got to get to my best bet. So what do you got for us college basketball? But we obviously got people tuning in the San Diego and Las Vegas areas. A lot, actually. Yeah. Big basketball game. And UNLV looked so bad to start the season. I mean, it was brutal, embarrassing. But they've really come on. You watch this team closely, obviously. They've come on right now, and they're getting double digits in this game. I think they're a live underdog. I like the Rebs in this game, actually. I think this is an old-school San Diego State UNLV battle.
If that's correct, then you probably need to be on UNLV. But I still think UNLV has been a little bit overvalued. I mean, I know they're playing really well. Everything you read, UNLV's hot. They're rolling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They come in this game on a hot streak. That's what they won 4 of the last 5. So, but here's the deal: they're not as consistent. The one thing you can always depend on from San Diego State is they're going to play hard. They're going to play every single possession. They're going to play defense, and as soon as you blink, they're going to score too. I like San Diego State.
All right, laying the points of San Diego State. Do you have a college basketball? Anything else you like on the hardwood tomorrow?
Yeah, early. Tomorrow morning, I like Marquette minus the 5. I think it's listen, Seton Hall's played well lately, but they really played no one in the non-con schedule, no one of relevance. And Marquette's playing well and they're defending and they're not turning the ball over. This is as good a team as anyone in the country. They're a little small front line, but give me Marquette minus the 5 in Seton Hall tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Mountain or Pacific time.
All right. You put 2 fingers up, though. Or was that a peace sign? Oh, I thought you had one more, maybe.
That was.
Okay, you're like, okay, it's 2.
I see you.
I wasn't sure. All right. I like your Marquette look, actually. I was looking at that game. I was looking at that game. I think Seton Hall are strange, though, right? I mean, Seton Hall either terrible or
You're right. Jekyll and Hyde, big time.
It's been their year, but they've actually looked pretty good so far to start the year. All right, so for me, I talked about teasing the NFL games tomorrow. It's an easy way out, but I think it's a good way out as far as getting the Pittsburgh Steelers up to +10 and the Indianapolis Colts up to +8. But I would have to take the Baltimore Ravens plus the 3 in this game. I like the Indianapolis Colts plus the 1. I think the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts will get to 48 points. Like 28-24, 27-24, 30-27. I think there'll be some points in this football game. Indoors, fast track, both defenses, especially if Houston wants to throw the ball on Indy, they're going to be able to do it. So I'm expecting some points in this football game. Going into Sunday's NFL football slate, let's start off with the Green Bay Packers. I like the Packers a lot to go over their win total, 7.5. It was not a smooth ride for them to get to this point, but I'm expecting them to put the explanation point on this thing. I think Jordan Love is going to win this football game for the Green Bay Packers, get him into the postseason in his first year as the starter. They're 9-1 straight up and against the spread the last 10 games against the Chicago Bears. I know the Bears have been playing better football, but I'm taking the Packers to advance and get it done and go to the playoffs. The Rams and 49ers, both teams already going to the playoffs. If Sean McVay cared about the playoff seed and stuff like that, he wouldn't be starting Carson Wentz. So he just wants to give Carson Wentz a couple of reps in case something happens in going into the playoffs. And the San Francisco 49ers are Super Bowl or bust. They could give two craps about this football game. Shanahan and McVay are both super vanilla preseason coaches as well. And not to mention, these guys can end up playing each other. So I would expect just a super vanilla, both teams hand the football off a million times and get the hell out of there type of football game. I'm surprised the total's not lighter than it is than the even 41 right now. I like this Arizona Cardinal football team in the direction that they're going in. I think Gannon is a very good coach. I like how Kyler Murray has played down the stretch. Seattle, mathematically okay or alive, but they know they're screwed. I think Arizona end the season strong to sort of build on what they've accomplished over the last month. You notice Arizona are always really a good road team. And they have all these big road wins. So they get, covers on the road. They go into Pittsburgh and they win and stuff. They go into Philadelphia, right? Like they're a very solid road team, and you wouldn't expect them to be. They owe their home fans a win. They're not a good home team. And, the only they beat the Dallas Cowboys earlier this year on this field. But other than that, they haven't really, over the years. And Cardinal fans are pretty cool. Like, they show up even though the team is crap and stuff and loses all the time at home. I'm expecting Arizona to give their fans a show on the way out and beat the Seattle Seahawks. I like the over 47.5 in that game as well. And finally, in closing, the Buffalo Bills are going to circle the wagons, and they were left for dead on the side of the road. And here they are on the verge of winning the AFC East. They're too close to give this opportunity up. The Miami Dolphins defense is just too beat up. All their best players are hurt. And it's a gamble for the Dolphins. If this is a playoff game, I'm sure they could play. It's not, and they know they're in the playoffs. So do you really want to risk all these injuries to all your players who are already hurt to win a division? And if, let's say, you lose the game and you get these guys even more beat up, and now you're playing a playoff game next week and you're shorthanded. Miami are in kind of a weird spot. Buffalo are just all in on this game. Buffalo are going to win this football game on Sunday night, and South Dakota State is going to win on Sunday. Nice little money line parlay here for you. Buffalo Bills to win the football game, South Dakota State to win the football game, and the Michigan Wolverines to win the football game, plus 184. What do you think about that, Tony Finn? A little plus money parlay.
Wow, I'll take it.
Yeah, Bills, Michigan, South Dakota State, plus 184.
I'll take it.
My best bet is Michael Penix Jr. over 309.5.
Let's stop around. Let's get active and let's get the best of the number here, Joe.
I believe if Michigan in this ball game can run the football, work off of play action, they can move the football, put up points. Does fall on McCarthy, but I like Michigan's chances in this ball game.
National championship is set. Washington against Michigan.
Brothers in arms tonight. This is it.
This is the most excited I think I've ever been for a day of work in my entire life.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
favorite. I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We spent all offseason where the NFL said, hey, just so you guys know, running backs don't matter. If we then this year give the MVP to a running back, the irony. I am disappointed that they lost to FAU. because secretly I don't really like this FAU team very much. I don't know. They're just not for me. And now they've completely legitimized the Owls.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
North Carolina, we've got new sports books operating for licenses. And, you know, a lot of news always coming out of there, one of the fresh sports betting states.
Well, they're a little behind the ball there, so I don't know if they'll be at the starting line in North Carolina. But yeah, a really interesting mix of applicants this early on so far.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid. SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
They were saying there's no way he could not possibly do this. He won't hold out.
Pro League Soccer powered by Marca.
Scoring teams in the league. They have 80 goals so far.
College football today.
The Hawks team total in the first half is 0.5.
Pro football today.
Interesting props in this game, but I would be cautious laying this number here with the Houston Texans.
In-game live all access.
In the NFC in terms of these wild cards and in terms of the playoff picture.
In-game live, prime time.
Rich, I don't know, man. This has just been one of those games that doesn't make a lick of sense here.
In-game live, overtime.
You want to give you over 3-1 on a pretty good team. It's hard not to take some flyers.
Football full circle.
Well, NFL officials stink. They always will stink, and they'll always ruin the game. Yeah, that's just part of what it is.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. All right, so a program alert cam will be on tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to be back Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern with the great Scott Farrell. We're breaking down the final week of NFL regular season play, and we'll no doubt talk about the national championship game. We were not on Monday night because there's a special college football studio show going on Monday night. Follow me on Twitter at SportsRage. I'll be posting some videos for sure throughout the game and giving you my live in-game reactions. Really looking forward to this weekend of football. The Buffalo Bills in a must-win situation. Michigan in a must-win situation. All kinds of teams in must-win situations, including the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow as well. So, Tony, I know you're going to get to work right now. Bunch of college basketball. You ready to go? Full slate of college basketball tomorrow?
I have like a short list of about 20 games that I need to go through. I like that many. The Marquette's the one I really liked. It's one of the first ones I looked at.
That's a short list, 20 games?
That's a short list.
That's a laundry list.
Well,
that's good.
Well, no, it's 20 is a short list, and it'll be knocked down to probably 3 or 4. That's a lot. That's a lot of work just eliminating, teams like Sam Houston State, stuff like that.
Yep.
All right, Cam, you got it. What's your best bet on the way out here?
Well, I'd actually look at the Vancouver Canucks in hockey getting plus 110. The Devils have been, this is their third game in 4 nights, and Vancouver tends to play well on the road. Also in golf, Brady Cannon had Scotty Scheffler. He's leading plus 180 if you like it. If you like 2 underdogs, give me Jordan Spieth at 25-1 and Sepp Straka, the Georgia Bulldog, at 50-1. Both within 3 shots of the league. Great value, but you know how good Scheffler is, Gabe. We told you about this guy. Could have got him at 5-1 at the start.
All right, sorry, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, but I think somehow it's going to implode for you tomorrow, and the Baltimore Ravens win this football game. But as I stated, we're going to take the 3 points with the Ravens. We're going to tease the Ravens up to plus 10 with the Indianapolis Colts to plus 8, and we'll also be on the Indianapolis Colts plus 1 and over 47.5. Follow us online. We'll have a million picks over the weekend. Other than that, you're on your own. Go Blue. Later.